The book of Zechariah, chapter 9 and verse 6. And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines. And I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to start off as always by giving all praise, all honor, all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha, Quadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and who taught us this truth through the power and spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the elect out there, whoever you might be. And Shalom to the 144,000. It's the brother Amawan Padah from the GMS Denver camp, doing a lesson in regard to some recent news and linking it back to prophecy. All right. So I want to go ahead and expound on this particular verse right here, Zechariah 9 and 6. It talks about a bastard dwelling in the Holy Land. All right. When you look up Ashdod, it is a area over there in Israel. All right. And right now a bastard is dwelling over there. All right. And that is none other than Esau, Edom. All right. Namely the tribe of Amalek, which is a tribe of the Edomites. All right. Those 1948ers. All right, those imposters, they're over there in our land right now, and that's prophesied to happen. They're fulfilling prophecy by being those bastards dwelling in the land of the true Israelites, which will consist of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and you Israelite foreigners out there. All right. And yeah, we do have some of our people that are mixed in amongst those 48ers. All right, because our seed has been scattered into all nations. So we have Israelites that are over there right now that might not even know that they're Israelites. All right. But the point is that the majority of those people over there in the land are heathen. All right. That's the prophecy, and they need to be cleared out. But without further ado, I want to get into a news article that I came across. All right. Let's check this out real quick. Actually, really quick, before we get into, that article, I want to bring out Ashdod. So let me go back a little bit. So I brought up Zechariah chapter 9 and verse 6 in the Blue Letter Bible app. And we go to Ashdod down here. Okay. Here it is in the Hebrew.
Strong's H795. Ashdod. Ashdod.
All right. So it says, all right, it means powerful or whatever, but it says a major Philistine city on the Mediterranean Sea, west from Jerusalem. All right, modern Ashdod. All right, I guess that's how they pronounce it nowadays. All right, but anyway, it says Ravager, Ashdod, a place in Palestine. All right, that's the key right there. It's over there in our land, because those Palestinians, man, they're in our land as well, and we'll prove that in a second. It says a powerful city of the Philistines on Mediterranean Sea, west from Jerusalem. All right, boom, boom. Let's check this out real quick. It says a fortified place, a castle, Ashdod, one of the 5 chief cities of the Philistines, although assigned to the tribe of Judah. You see? All right, and it relates it back to Joshua 15 and verse 4 and a few other precepts. It says it was the fortress of Palestine on the borders of Palestine and Egypt. All right, so there you go. That's the point right there. It's our land. It said it was given unto Judah, which is one of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. And right now, who's over there? Heathen. All right. All right, so here's that article that I was talking about right here. It's from the People's Voice.tv. It says Netanyahu declares Gaza now fully belongs to Israel. Quote unquote, occupiers will be exterminated. So yeah, man, that's a bold statement right there. All right, from this 48er, all right, proclaiming to be the chosen people, man. All right, and this whole genocide situation has been the talk of the world, man, as of lately, man, because everybody's looking at, these 48ers and seeing the genocide that they're committing over there, man, on civilians. All right. So let's check this out. All right. So let's read a little bit of this. It says Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu boldly declared on Monday that Gaza now fully belongs to Israel, vowing to eliminate all occupiers through a relentless military campaign. His announcement signals Israel's intent to seize complete control of the territory, intensifying the conflict despite global condemnation. You see, shameful spewing is being cast upon these damn devils, man, in these last days. The Lord is bringing them down. He's exposing them. All right. Everybody's looking at these people over there and how they're moving. All right. You see? So it's talking about global condemnation. These other nations are looking at the quote unquote Israelis like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? All right. This damn maniac, Benjamin Netanyahu, talking about he trying to exterminate those Palestinians over there. All right. And that Gaza belongs to them. Well, we know in all actuality, all right, don't none of those heathen belong over there. Not the Palestinians, nor those 48ers. That's our land. It's going to be given back to its rightful owners on the return of our Lord Yahweh Shai, the world ignorantly calls Jesus. All right. The Lord's going to clear all you rats out of there. Now it says in a video statement posted on Telegram, Netanyahu declared, all right, the fighting is intense and we are making progress. We will take control of all the territory of the Strip. We will not give up. But in order to succeed, we must act in a way that cannot be stopped. So their mind is dead set on clearing them people out from over there in that land so they can occupy it. All right. Okay. So yeah, it says the announcement comes amid expanded extensive ground operations by the Israeli military and follows deadly airstrikes across the region. Gaza rescuers reported that at least 22 civilians killed in the latest bombardments. So they don't give a damn about civilians. They don't give a damn about women or children over there. These bloodthirsty bastards are trying to get that land to try to fulfill prophecy. You know what I'm saying? Because in all actuality, the land that they're occupying right now is not the promised land that is spoken of in the scriptures, man, that the Israelites would have. The land that we are going to have is way larger than the little area that they have right now. So that's why they're trying to expand and exterminate those Palestinians. But let's go ahead and prove that in the scriptures real quick. All right, so here we have an account right here. All right, in Genesis chapter 15, verse 18, going into the land that was promised unto our forefathers, right? It says, Genesis 15, verse 18, in the same day, the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, made a covenant with Abram, who later changed his name to Abraham. All right, saying, unto thy seed have I given this land, from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates. And the river in Egypt is talking about the Nile River, by the way. So let's look at a map really quick to give you a perspective of the land that's been given unto us. All right, so here is a map that I pulled up right here. As you can see, the lines in the top, the upper right hand corner, it shows from the Euphrates, which is covering parts of Syria, Turkey, and Iraq. All right, Jordan, parts of Saudi Arabia. All right, all the way down to parts of Egypt, man. All right, that's what's in the scriptures. All right, that's a more accurate depiction of what they currently are occupying right now. Okay, as you see on the left, it says present day Israel, that little small piece. All right, showing you that they're not the true people of the Lord, man. Because when the Israelites are brought back to their land, all right, by the Messiah, they're going to have the entirety of the promised land, not just a small piece. And they're not going to be at war trying to get the rest of it, committing genocide. That's not going to be how the Israelites occupy the land in the near future, man, when Yahweh Shah returns. So another cut against those imposters over there, those bastards dwelling in our land. All right, the Bible is against those so-called Jews over there, man. All right, they're not the people, clearly, man. That's our land. Okay, and we're gonna have it when Yahweh Shah returns, man, soon. So yeah, back to this article. That's why you got these 48ers over there trying to exterminate those Palestinians, because they're trying to occupy the rest of that land, and they call it the Greater Israel Project, you know. But hey, the jig is up, man. We know who you are. You know, we know that you're Amalek, all right, a tribe of the Edomites, man, who the Lord hates. Matter of fact, let's prove that real quick, since you people think that the Lord loves everybody. Look at what they're doing to our land, the Lord's holy land that's been given unto us. They're over there perpetrating, man. You see. So hold on a second. Let's read a little bit more of this. It says, we must not let the population of Gaza sink into famine, Netanyahu said, noting that even Israel's closest partners would not tolerate images of mass starvation. And yeah, they're over there starving those people out over there right now, man. They're restricting aid to those Palestinians, man. They're allowing men, women, and children to starve to death, man, because they're trying to clear them out. So that's what's going on, man. Famine is actually taking place over there in Gaza right now because they want to clear those people out, man. Okay. President Trump addressing the crisis last week acknowledged that a lot of people are starving and pledged we're going to get that taken care of. Man, yeah, right. Look, man, we understand that America is in solidarity with the state of Israel over there. All right. We understand that. All right. Because America is pretty much Israel's bitch. So that's the point on that, man. Let's get to some more precepts real quick. All right, Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. That's right, man. It's talking about the entire nation of Esau, all right, these Edomites. But we're focusing on the Amalekites, man, those 1948ers, those big nose, small head people over there. All right. So everybody used to think that those were the people of the Lord, man. You know, you still got some idiots, you know, in these last days that believe that those are the chosen people. Even some of our own people, they believe that those Israelis are the Lord's chosen people, when it's clear to see that they're not. All right. The biggest gay parade is held over there in Tel Aviv. How the hell are they the people of the Lord, man? And they're in the Holy Land committing all kind of abominations. When the Israelites go back to the Holy Land, there's not going to be any of that shit going on over there, man. We're going to be completely righteous at that point underneath the second covenant. So that shows you that they don't fulfill prophecy, man. And brothers have been doing videos on this as of lately because the Spirit of the Lord is bringing that shameful spewing upon these bastards, man. It's the Spirit of the Lord that's exposing Esau. It's exposing those 1948ers. The jig is up, man. All right. The Bible is exposing your bullshit. And now shame is covering you. You're being exposed and uncovered. All right. That's what this is going into right here. You are not the people of the promise. All right. So real quick, back into this article. All right. I'm going to jump down. It says the toll of the conflict continues to climb, like the death toll. It says Gaza's health ministry reports at least 3,193 deaths since the fighting resumed on March 18th, bringing the war's total death count to 53,339. It's probably more than that. Hamas's October 2023 attack killed 1,218 people in Israel and resulted in 251 hostages, of whom 57 are believed to remain in Gaza, 34 of them presumed dead. It says, as Netanyahu pushes ahead with what he calls the final phase of the war, pressure from the international community, including humanitarian agencies, religious leaders, and foreign governments, continue to grow over the conditions inside Gaza. So people are raising up against these devils, man, over what they're doing over there, over this genocide, man. All right, Pope Leo the 14th, in his inaugural mass implored, all right, that bastard, man, Pope, man, that whole Roman Catholic shit is wicked, man. But anyway, it says, in his inaugural mass implored the world not to forget our brothers and sisters who are suffering because of war, adding, in Gaza, the surviving children, families, and elderly are reduced to starvation. Like I said, man, they over there starving right now. All right. Let alone, you know, being obliterated by the Israeli military. All right. So anyway, man, the point is that people are rising up and they're, you know, looking at these damn Israelis with a side eye, man. And that's part of prophecy. I got to bring this out real quick. All right. Ezekiel chapter 36. I'm going to start at verse 1 to read down. It says, Also, thou son of man, prophesy unto the mountains of Israel, and say, Ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord Yahweh. All right. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Most High, because the enemy have said against you, Aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession. And that's what's going on right now, man. Let me zoom in on that. The ancient high places, which is our holy land, is in the possession of the heathen. All right. To this day. All right. But they finna cough it up, man, because Israel's gonna get obliterated. All right. In the midst of World War III by way of thermonuclear fire. Hey, we just telling you before it happens, man. The Lord is finna cleanse those gutter rats out of our land with thermonuclear fire. And then we're going to have the heathen, all right, that remain, build it up, all right, when we're brought into that second covenant, when we return from the heavens, man, that's New Jerusalem. We're going to come down and we're going to have you heathen get to work to build up our holy land. Now, America is going to be hit, but it's going to be totally obliterated to the point where nobody will ever live here in this land known as America ever again. But Israel will be cleansed and built up, man, as prophesied. But yeah, right now they're over there and they're gloating in the fact that they're in our holy land. All right. And the elites of, Esau, the elites of Amalek, they know that land is not theirs, but they're trying to portray that image like it is. All right. Prophecy exposes you. All right. Next verse it says, Therefore prophesy and say, Thus saith the Lord power, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that ye might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen, and ye are taken up in the lips of talkers, and are an infamy of the people. Therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord power. Thus saith the Lord power to the mountains and to the hills, all right, to the rivers and to the valleys, to the desolate waste, and to the cities that are forsaken, which became a prey and derision to the residue of the heathen that are round about you. All right, because they didn't defile our land, man. Like I said, they hold the biggest gay parade in the world over there in Tel Aviv, man. They defiled our land. All right, and the heathen are over there dwelling in our land. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea. You see, the Edomites will be over there in that land. Idumea is the Greek way of saying Edom. All right. The Lord is speaking against you Edomites that are in our land. All right. You've been identified. It says, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. Man, the Lord is mad. He's angry. All right. And it's time that you heathen, all right, get evicted. And everything that's happening in the world is leading up to that point. All right, you're gonna be evicted by way of thermonuclear fire, man. Verse 6, it says, Prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers and to the valleys, Thus saith the Lord power. Behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen. All right, they're over there defiling our land. That's a shame unto us, man. Having these bastards over there, kicking their feet up on our couch and, and whatnot, man. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I have lifted up mine hand. Surely the heathen that are about you, they shall bear their shame. And it's happening right now. We're in the beginning stages of you heathen bearing your shame. The Lord is bringing that shameful spewing upon your name, upon your quote unquote glory. All right. People are waking up. All right. So check this out. Here's another article. All right. From the peoplesvoice.tv. And check this out. Now it says the UK, all right, the United Kingdom is finally pushing back against Israel. All right. More of that shameful spewing, man. And the house of Esau is divided. All right. Because the UK, those are ran by Edomites as well, man. All right. But they're against each other, man. They're divided. It says Britain appears to have finally lost patience with and is stepping up its action against Israel. Speaking to the Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer and Foreign Secretary David Lammy sounded genuinely angry about Israel's ongoing genocide in Gaza. You see, the UK has paused trade talks and imposed sanctions on Israeli settlers as European and other world leaders mount pressure on Israel to end its military offensive in Gaza. So, man, these damn 48ers are stirring the pot, man. All right. People are starting to rise up against the state of Israel, man. Those damn devils. Along with the UK, French, and Canadian leaders have strongly opposed the expansion of Israel's military offensive in Gaza, threatening to take concrete actions, quote unquote, if Israel does not cease its onslaught and lift restrictions on aid supplied to the Palestinian enclave. So I told you they're choking off the supplies to those Palestinians over there. All right, they're over there starving, man. It says even U.S. President Donald Trump, who has already cut ties with Netanyahu. All right, when we don't, come on, man. They haven't really cut ties with those Israelis. All right. It says has warned that people in Gaza are starving, but nonetheless they are, divided, man. All right. And what's going to happen is Israel's going to draw the United States into World War III, man. All right. It says the least of the flock shall draw them out. So in one shape, form, or fashion, the United States is connected to Israel. All right. Though, Donald Trump is saying that he cut ties with Netanyahu. We know what prophecy says. All right. Now, it says 14,000 babies are at risk of starving to death within the next 48 hours. Condemnation is not enough. We need action. Let's play this video clip. Let's see if it'll play.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. 14,000 babies is the number. 14,000 babies will die in Gaza within the next 48 hours if aid is not let in. Minister, I ask you, honestly, does your government honestly believe that what's happening in Gaza is not a genocide? And in fact, what is your government doing to stop genocide in Gaza? It seems that you're comfortable in supplying weapons to a state that is also equally comfortable in starving children. I finish by asking, what actions are you going to take? Perhaps expel the Israeli ambassador.
What actions you are going to take? I think we've been in this chamber for long enough to know that's not appropriate language. I should not have to repeat myself, Mr. Foreign Secretary.
We took action when we suspended arms sales to Israel that could be used in Gaza. We did that back in September, and I would urge the honourable gentleman to look at the remarks I made then and to recognise that decision that was made by me and this government.
Hayes.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I welcome the Foreign Secretary.
So yeah, man, you see it. There's pressure on the state of Israel right now. Right, everybody's looking at them and realizing that, man, that shit's fucked up over there, man. All right. These other nations are looking at it like, man, this is a problem. All right. Shameful spewing on their glory. Their image is being tarnished, man. Okay, so yeah, man, you see the point, man. All right. So let's get a few more. We're going to close this out. You can read the article, for yourself, in your free time, but it's from the peoplesvoice.tv. All right, here we have the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35. I'm going to start at verse 1, actually. All right. So it says, moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. And Mount Seir is a representation, prophetically speaking, of the nation of Edom, because in the ancient times they inhabited the area known as Mount Seir. All right, that mountainous region. So when you see that, a lot of times in the scriptures, it's talking about the people, all right, who are the Edomites, and we are to prophesy against them. And those people over there in the Holy Land, those 1948ers, those are Edomites, man, of the tribe of Amalek. All right. And we're doing what we're commanded to do, man. Prophesy against them. They're the wicked, man. It says, and say unto it, thus saith the Lord power, behold, on Mount Seir, I am against thee. The Lord is against these devils, man. And I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. You see, they're going to get hit in the midst of World War III. All right, with nuclear missiles, man. That's how the Lord's going to make them desolate. And we're in the beginning stages of that happening. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai. Why? Because his word is coming to pass. All right. We're reading you the will of the Lord, man. And ain't nobody going to stop it. This is what's going to happen. Verse 5. Check it out. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel. All right. The true Israelites. You see, by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity and the time that their iniquity had an end. All right. These devils have shed the blood of the Lord's chosen people. Right. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians. They're doing it to this day. All right. To this day, man. In more covert ways, you know. I'm not going to get into the details, but, you know, certain medicines, I'll just say it that way. That whole industry, you know, is part of those Edomites shedding our blood, man. And the whole thing with the jab situation. All right. That's an act of violence, man, against the children of Israel. Because who did they market it? Who did they market those jabs to? All right. Yeah, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians. They said that you were more susceptible to the C-19, and they were pushing that shit heavy on y'all, man. And we still got Israelites that are dropping to this day because of that, man. But that's all I'm gonna say on that. All right. That's all I'm gonna say on that that subject. I don't want this video to get taken down. But anyway, let's continue on. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. I want to get this in another translation so you can understand what this is talking about. Because these damn devils have no problem shedding our blood, man. All right. You see what I'm saying? They you know, pretty much funded the transatlantic slave trade. All right. Those 1948ers, those Amalekites. When you look at the history, the owners of those ships, all right, were mostly Amalekites, man. 48ers. All right. That was a very bloody and brutal time for the Israelites, man. You know, mainly of the Southern Kingdom. You see? But anyway, shit, even Christopher Columbus, man. All right. His real name is what? Cristobal Colon. He was a 1948er. And look what he did to the Northern Kingdom. He shed the blood of the so-called Latinos and Native Americans that were over here in America. All right. Their whole track record, you know, is drenched in blood, man. Our blood. So they finna pay. We're in that time, man. And the Lord is stirring up these nations to come against them. Hence World War III. All right. The time of their judgment. And the rest of the heathen as well. All right. So check this out, man. Here is Ezekiel 35, verse 6 through 8 in the GNT, the Good News Translation. All right. So you can understand. Now, here it is. It says, verse 6. So then, as surely as I, the sovereign Lord, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, am the living power, death is your fate, and you cannot escape it. All right. You Edomites, take heed. You are guilty of murder, and murder will follow you. Hey, you reap what you sow, man. All right. You've done nothing but shed the blood of people on the earth, mainly the Israelites. All right. And even these other heathens, man, you've been afflicting these other nations as well, man, you damn Edomites. Colonizing and taking over lands and whatnot. But the main focus is what you've done to the Israelites, man. And guess what? You've murdered our people. And guess what? Death is going to come to you. And we're in the time of your death. We're in the time of your judgment, man. All right. It says, I will make the hill country of Edom a wasteland and will kill everyone who travels through it. I will cover the mountains with corpses, all right, dead bodies, and the bodies of those who are killed in battle will cover the hills and valleys. You see, World War III, a lot of y'all finna die, man. What you've done to the Lord's chosen people, the Israelites. So we're seeing prophecy play out, man. All right. Death is what awaits you. Bloodshed is what awaits you. Since you had no problem shedding our blood, you finna get thrust into World War III. And a lot of blood will be shed in this war, man. So I'm gonna end this lesson with this scripture right here. All right. To get the big picture, this is Matthew chapter 12 and verse 26. Lord Yahweh Shai speaking. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? All right. And we know that the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, all right, are you Edomites. And your kingdom is, evidently, clearly divided, man. All right. You get the UK coming up against the 1948ers. All right. Both Edomite nations. You got the U.S. trying to disassociate themselves with the genocide that's going on. All right. You're divided, man. In more ways than one. All right. You got people in the United States. All right. Alone. They're divided against each other. Republican against Democrat. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is upset at Donald Trump and the current administration. This place is divided, man. Because Esau's kingdom is being brought down, man. All right. And Yahweh Shai is going to establish the kingdom of righteousness, man. All right. The kingdom of Yahweh Shai, which is going to be, given unto Israel. That's what we're coming into. So all these things that are happening is prophecy playing out, man. All leading towards the kingdom of Yahweh Shai being established on the earth. So, with that, I'm going to end this right here. I got to head out. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh. Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well, who taught us this truth through the power and spirit of Yahweh. Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Kwame Yasharala in the Bible Bar. Shalom.